Our attitudes when we do our prayer walk through our cities is very important. We don't want the attitude of Jonah. God sent him to the city of Nineveh to preach to it. He didn't want to go because he didn't want God's mercy and compassion to be poured out on those people. Well, through some various experiences that God initiated in his life, God got him to Nineveh. And this is what happened when he got there. Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now, Nineveh was a very large city. It took 3 days to go through it. Jonah began by going a day's journey into the city, proclaiming, 40 more days, and Nineveh will be overthrown. The Ninevites believed God. A fast was proclaimed, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. That means they were mourning. They understood what was going on. 3 days of walking through the city. Nineveh repents. They experience the compassion and mercy of God. Jonah's pretty depressed about it. He didn't want that to happen. God teaches him a lesson by growing this plant near Jonah that dies. Jonah is angry that the plant died. He's angry about God's mercy, and he's more concerned about a plant than he is about the people of Nineveh. God's heart is revealed in the very last verse. After Jonah complains in chapter 4 about this plant dying, and he's very angry about this plant dying, so angry that he wishes he was dead, the Lord said this, "And should I have not been concerned for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals?" The people not telling their left hand from their right hand is their spiritual condition and understanding the goodness and the mercy of God. God is telling Jonah, and I think he's telling us, that he has a deep love for our cities, and he wants to pour out his compassion and his mercy and his grace upon them. And this needs to be the heartbeat of our prayer. As we walk the streets and drive the streets, we're praying for God's mercy and grace to be poured out and for people to be open to receive it. Walk your streets. Walk the streets of Geauga County. Or if you live in a different county, walk those streets. But pray for God's grace and compassion to be poured out. Keep walking, keep praying.